Year 12s, today we're going to be talking about social identity. Alright, so I'd like you to pause here just for a minute or so, and I want you to write down some aspects of your social identity. So we're looking for your hobbies, any groups that you belong to in terms of your employment perhaps, what socioeconomic status you belong to, think of any groups that you belong to and just jot them down. Alright, so what is our social identity? Henry Tajfel's greatest contribution to psychology was social identity theory. Social identity is a person's sense of who they are based on their group memberships. He proposed that the groups, so the social class, family, football team you belong to, etc., were an important source of pride and self-esteem. Groups give us a sense of social identity and a sense of belonging in a social world. In order to increase our self-image, we enhance the status of the group to which we belong. For example, we might say things like, England is the best country in the world if we're English, because we want to improve our own self-image by saying that the groups that we belong to are the best groups. We can also increase our self-image by discriminating and holding prejudiced views against the out-groups, meaning the groups that we don't belong to. Therefore, we divide the world into them and us based on a process of social categorization. Basically, this means that we put people into social groups. This is known as the in-group, us, and the out-group, them. So in-group is the groups that you do belong to, and the out-group is anyone in groups that you do not belong to. Social identity theory states that the in-group will discriminate against the out-group to enhance their self-image. The central hypothesis of social identity theory is that group members of an in-group will seek to find negative aspects of an out-group, thus enhancing the self-image of the in-group. Prejudiced views between cultures may result in racism. In its extreme forms, racism may result in genocide, such as occurred in Germany with the Jewish people, in Rwanda between the Hutus and the Tutsis, and more recently in Yugoslavia, where the Bosnians and the Serbs had a civil war. Henry Tajfel proposed that stereotyping, meaning putting people into groups and categories, is based on a normal cognitive process, that is, the tendency to group things together. When we do that, when we group things together in that way, we tend to exaggerate A, the differences between groups, and B, the similarities between things in the same group. We categorise people in the same way. So we see the group to which we belong, our in-group, as being different from the others, the out-groups, and members of the same group as being more similar than they really are. Social categorisation is one explanation for prejudiced attitudes, meaning them and us mentality, which leads to in-groups and out-groups. The way people use English, including Australian English, gives away things about ourselves. So the variety, for example, is a subset of a language that is common to a group of people sharing regional origin or social characteristics. A dialect is a variety that has grammar and vocabulary that identifies the geographical or social origin of the speaker. And a sociolect is a variety used by people of a particular socioeconomic status or educational background. They're all really important distinctions to make, so please make sure that you have those in your notes. Alright, how is our social identity represented in our language? Every time we use language, we demonstrate some aspect of our identity. It gives clues as to how old we are, what gender we identify as, what we value, what we like and dislike, who our family is, where we grew up, and a whole lot more. Okay, we're going to watch some clips, and I want you just to have a think about what you can tell about the social identity of the people in these clips.
when I was in Sydney, I had a haircut as well, and my hair's really short at the moment. I feel like I kind of look like Dakota Fanning if she went through a lesbian phase. Like, don't you reckon that's the look? She's 17. It's bound to happen in a few months' time. I had this hairdresser in Sydney. Her name was Tanisha, which was nice. She was from Wollongong. And Tanisha had 4 E's in her name. So she was Tanisha. I think that corresponds to how many kids you had under the age of 20. And Tanisha dropped out of school in grade 10, which is late for hairdressing. And Wollongong Senior High, they're like, oh God, we have nothing planned for grade 11. No one's ever made it that far. And she was great fun. Tanisha was great fun. She reeked a fake tan. Oh, isn't there anything better? And she's cutting my hair, and you know, we're discussing the big topics. We're discussing the Kardashians and the carbon tax. And she's like, "What's that?" I'm like, "Well, we've had a conversation about it." And this is how gay I am, and how stupid Tanisha was. Right? Tanisha was washing my hair like 20 minutes later.
All right, so I'd like you just to jot down A, what we can tell about this person's social identity, and B, what are some of the language features that you noticed in that clip that gave you those clues as to his social identity. Okay, second clip.
Who wants to smash a piñata?
You made a piñata?
Yeah, I made a beautiful piñata.
Why'd you make a piñata?
What? What do you mean, why?
I mean, why did you make a piñata?
Would you ask a bird why it sings? Would you ask a divorced man why he joined a pottery class? Some things don't need to be questioned.
Okay, what's in it?
It doesn't matter. Free your mind of all that nonsense and just focus on what's real, which is that we have a piñata.
All right.
Okay, no, actually, no. I thought you'd be excited. You're not excited. I don't want to smash it with people who aren't excited.
No, I think I'm excited.
You're not excited!
I just need a moment to get my head around it, okay? It's a bit of a shock.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'm excited.
Claire, are you excited about the piñata?
Sure.
Yeah?
Olé!
Arriba! It is full of secrets. You and Claire have been keeping secrets, and I don't like it. I think we shouldn't keep secrets. So I've taken all of our secrets and I've put it in here. Mine, Josh's, Claire's, and John's.
Okay, so same thing again. For each of the people in this clip, give me some guesses as to their social identity, and again some of the clues about or the clues in their language use that gives us information about their social identities. Okay, another one.
What's the time?
You've got plenty of time. Move, dickwad! Feet. What the fuck are you doing in a sportage? Who are they?
Girls, I'd like you to meet an old lover of mine, Amber. Amber, this is Taylor and Madison.
Yeah, hi. What are you doing with them?
Dropping them off to Nipple.
What are you, Mrs. fucking Doubtfire?
I've met someone.
Who?
Their mother.
You knew about this?
I've got to go. They're due on court. 5? 5.
Let me get this straight. You've been to about 3 of his matches ever, but these kids got the full Mike Brady.
Amber, I've got oranges for Shawnee's game, and I'm running the boundary at the 3rd quarter.
Oh, there you are. We're looking for you on court 8. Yeah, sorry. I think it smells of canteen food. Mackenzie's had a snot explosion. Babe, have you got any wipes?
Amber, this is Mickey.
Oh, hello.
As in the mouse?
No, as in Michelle. I know, right? Michelle Madison Mackenzie. Poor Taylor. Oh my God, you're Amber. Oh, congratulations on Sean.
Okay, again, I'd like you to, for each of the people who have a speaking role in this clip, I'd like you to make some comments about their social identity and the language features that gave you those clues. Next clip.
Is it true you told your cousin Thon Maker that you would only support the Bucks if he gave you an NBA jersey for free?
Yes.
Yes.
That's true.
Okay.
Illyria, is it true the many different hairstyles you're running with are backyard jobs?
Yes and no. A couple of them, yeah. I've got Sam Naismith who's been doing a few of my haircuts, and I don't know if he's getting better or not, so that's probably living.
Is Sam a hairdresser or a butcher? Does he do his own hair?
Yeah, he's done his hair. He's done his own hair a couple of times, but just because I don't really have any barber in Sydney to do my hair, because I've got people in Perth when I was living there, and I've got a few mates here. So whenever I do need a haircut, it's just
there are hairdressers in Sydney.
There are.
I'll give you the name.
Is it true that you drink so much Fanta that you could actually be sponsored by them?
That's very true.
Now, we're told you got the basketball background. Maybe could have played college if you wanted to. What's the most points you've ever scored in any one game?
In one game of basketball? Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I couldn't tell. I don't think that we kept stat when I was playing basketball. Yeah, I'm not too sure on that.
Well, I'm going to ask another question. Can you do the double-handed dunk?
Lee loves the double-handed dunk.
Yes.
All right, so maybe just pick one or two people from this clip to make the same comments about. So jot down some aspects of their social identity that you can guess and some of the language features that gave you those clues. Okay, now what I'd like you to do is, on the classroom, there is a worksheet called the Karen Meme Task. I would like you to complete that. Once you've finished, come back to the video. Our identity is represented every time we use language. You need to read the punctuation cues article also on the classroom, and then look through your own messages. So that can be conversations on social media, can be text messages, just needs to be some kind of written language that you've used. To find examples of punctuation being used to project an identity. So read the article first and then find some examples in your own language use. All right, modes of address. The way we address each other is closely linked to identity and cultural value systems. In other languages, this is represented by formal forms such as tu and vous in French. In English, we have terms that take on some of the formality conveyed by these structures in other languages. So we don't differentiate between formal and informal you. We just have the same thing for both. So we make up for that by changing the modes of address depending on how formal or informal a situation is. So these can include pronoun replacements like Mr., Mrs. and Doctor. Informal terms such as mate, love, boys, girls and guys mark the degree of formality between interlocutors. The use of first names is widespread in Australian English. This could be related to a belief in egalitarianism, in equalness in Australian society. Australians are likely to introduce themselves with their first name, both face-to-face and on the phone. They are then referred to and addressed by their first names, even in more formal situations. Name tags usually show first names rather than last names, such as is the case in some European countries. As social distance decreases, people may be more likely to refer to someone by their first name. Nicknames are the most obvious expression of a close social relationship. They're most often found in close-knit groups. While nicknames are usually affectionate and indicate a close friendship, they can also be negative. People in authoritative positions or in the public eye can be given nicknames that are intended to show that they are the enemy rather than a friend. They can also be used to belittle people in the public eye, such as with the nickname ScoMo. That does demonstrate, a degree of familiarity on one hand, but on the other hand, it does kind of impact the seriousness with which we perceive him. All right, I want you to make a list of some nicknames that you have that your family or your friends use that are affectionate, and then some that people in the public eye have been given with the intent to poke fun at them. I want you to think of one social group. Okay, it can be any kind of social group you like, so it can be related to age, gender, sexuality, where you live, a particular hobby or a job, any of those things. So think of one group. I want you to dot point some examples of linguistic features from all of the subsystems that are used by that group. So this is going to be easiest if you choose a group that you belong to or that you're very familiar with. Okay, your final task is the rock climbing names task. So please go and find that. It is on the classroom and complete that worksheet.